Hey there everyone, my name is Monkey Shrapnel from the Guys Who Play Games, back with some more Donkey Kong Country 2, I guess 100%. Actually this game's 102%, but you know, logistics, all that jazz. So we're in Crazy Kremlin? I almost forgot the name, even though we just saw it. And what's in Crazy Kremlin but a whole bunch of beehives for some reason. They really like bees here. And yeah, right above the start of this very beginning of the level, find the hook, climb up that hook, get up here, get your sweet, sweet rewards, and oh look, there's an entrance here. Yeah, this level starts off strong. There's a bunch of shit. This level is actually, this little bonus game, really fun. I'm going to show this off after just because I feel like it. But they give you a lot of time in this bonus room for some reason, even though like you really don't even need half of it. So, you grab the coin from killing all those zingers with your chest, but, let me grab these rewards here again, just because the bananas at least will be very useful. Ooh! Oh, well, I guess, I'll show off this next bonus. Before we show off what I was talking about. This one's, like, even, like, just jump back and forth. Like, they give you, like, 10 seconds, it's like, you don't even need 5. That's one of those ones that should have been just like 5 and done, you know. Anyways, I guess I'll show off a glitch while I'm here too. So if you toss, you saw it earlier, but if you toss your buddy, you can kind of walk through and then get pulled back, and you can't re-enter it right away. You have to like, it's like, I think it's either a certain amount of time passes or you need to like leave the area and then you can go back in that one. But what I want to show off is kind of a funny little thing here is that I will leave this one. I'll leave this one. And you can kind of just like carry the chest with you, kill all the zingers, but because that one's not in the right spot, obviously the chest doesn't break. You can come over here, spawn the coin here, and now you just kind of run through the ground, and the level fades out because you touched a solid object. Interestingly enough, these hooks are just barely off screen, so you can't actually grab onto them. Which is kind of, I guess, a funny quirk. Is that the first level that hooks have appeared in? No, because they appeared in the boss fight. But it's like, first time we really get to like really see them in action. Anyways, yeah, beehive levels, just like a lot of levels in this game, they're very vertical. There's a lot more vertical levels in this game than there were in the first game. Wow, I missed the stupid porcupine. Because I think because like, well, the exact reason I'm not entirely sure, but like just vertical levels just in DKC. Alright, what the dang, man, I'm messing up big here. Vertical levels in the first game, kind of weird how they work. Like the way they're programmed in is just like makes it hard to work with. Like if you've ever seen a ROM hack of the first game, generally the like underwater levels and the slip slide ride, the way they work it's just like most people just completely skip making those levels because they're really weird how they work. But yeah, you climb up another hook and hey look, it's our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Spider bug person thing. Except spiders aren't bugs, but you know. Let's clear these out first. Wow, what? Jeepers creepers, can I aim? Okay, so oh. Let's see if I can, I guess I can just drop down. Die, Gorg. Is there anything up here? Let's see, anything up here? There's a DK barrel. Good to know. Oh, and the letter O. Good thing I got that. Anyways, yeah, if you lose Squitter, you have to use these hooks, but if you have Squitter, you can just, jump up and ignore all the enemies. Anyways, there's bananas here. Obviously, those bananas mean something, because, I mean, bananas always mean something in these games. We got another pair of banana bunches in the banana coin. That's kind of a theme you'll see a lot throughout this game. There's usually, they like to put things in, like, certain, like, groups. 2 banana bunches and a coin is pretty common. There's also just, like, double banana bunches and double coins. That's pretty common. And, just play it safe. Like, Squitter's good at rushing, but like, you know, it's like there's no reason to rush if you don't have to. Anyways, What's funny is that you can see there's 2-letter N's here because one of them's for Squitter and the other one's just a normal N. And as soon as you grab the first one, the second one's gone. You don't see it again. Anyways, that zinger we saw earlier, you drop down here because obviously there wouldn't just be a random zinger over a hole for no reason. A bunch of bananas here. Collect these bananas because why not? Bananas are really fun to collect in this game. Like, I think they're very satisfying to collect. And yeah, just get a DK coin. It's always fun. You get this cool little moving barrel. You time your barrel shot and bada bing, you're up here. You could climb with our buddy, but like no reason to. There's no goodies there, so. Anyways, let's climb these bananas because once again, those earlier bananas were something, so obviously this one's something too. I want to see something here just a sec though. So if I... Can you like... Nope, camera blocks you. There's actually a... That's where the barrel from this bonus game shoots you at, but camera kind of like locks you in. You can't go too far away from off screen because then it's just like, well, that would be weird, right? Another one of those bonus rooms that gives you all so much time and you barely need any of it. They're really generous with time in this game, honestly. Like, other than like a few bonus games, running out of time usually isn't an issue. But there are a couple of times when it is an issue for some reason. It's weird. They're kind of inconsistent about it, but you know, whatever, I guess. Let's drop off because everyone loves throwing barrels. Oh, I broke it. That's sad, but whatever. Let's climb this hook up here. Normally you need to team throw, but with Scooter, once again, you can just run through, get a bunch of bananas, and I think nothing here, unfortunately. I thought there was a coin there. I'm surprised. Just bananas. Just a cute little shortcut. I like the variety in their shortcuts, though. I can tell you that much. Anyways, let's grab this extra life. The reason I made these webs is because I want to show off a little funny thing. So normally, it's actually really hard to get past this target because you can't fly off of webbing or off of honey. So in order to get past this thing, you either need to do a really like far jump or just, you know, use the webbing. Not that it really matters, but it's just one of those things that I like to mess around with because you can't. I mean, for what it's worth, you can't normally get on this platform, this little ground bit up here with Didi and Dixie because it's just hard. And as we got Wrinkly right away, but I will avoid her tips. Wait, how much money do we have? Actually, we already have 7 coins. Jeez. Well, I guess let's just go for the tips. So, secret doors. In other words, if you haven't figured it out by the time you're already at World 4, yes, there are breakable walls. You can also roll jump, press Y to roll off and jump. That's something that you might not know by now if you haven't figured it out by now. And yeah, the boss, destroy the small zinger and his drones quickly or they'll reappear after a while. That won't make any sense for a while, but I mean, if you couldn't tell, you can see a bunch of beehives over there. So chances are there's a good chance that's the boss, you know, all that jazz. Anyways, Target Terror. This is basically what you might call your minecart level of this game. Except there's skull carts in this game, and you can, the first time you run into them, you can jump off it like a minecart rampage in the first game. They kind of flip the order of them in this game. You start off being able to jump into them. And your trick here is those barrels, you want to hit those to make sure the door is open, because otherwise you run into the door and get hit. But yeah, once again, as you can expect from Minecart level, it's pretty straightforward. There's not really much you do, you just kind of jump. It's a bit more involved because you have to jump off the cart, so you will have to kind of control yourself a bit when you jump over gaps. Don't hit the X, because that's bad. If you couldn't tell, big red X kind of messes with you. Jump over here to a barrel. Once again, that's a really weird barrel. That's the only barrel, I believe, in the whole game that it starts off to the side, and when you jump to it, it actually rotates up, which is kind of an interesting detail. I'm not sure why it's there, but yeah, this minigame, you just jump in. Squawks is just hanging out, like I say, he's usually hanging out in some of the bonus games. So kind of an interesting detail I want to show off. So you have to beat them all, but if you leave one alive, and then collect the bananas, I forgot what you had to do for that for a sec, but yeah, collect the bananas, that counts as removing an enemy, because it just checks for sprites, not specifically enemies, so you can skip a wasp and just collect the bananas, which is kind of a funny detail. But that's actually kind of a theme for this game, if I guess kind of related to that bonus game, that there's a lot of bonus games that just take you to brambles, because I guess since almost all of the brambles hurt you and the brambles offer like a good constant hazard, it's just an easy place to take you that's kind of challenging. But yeah, you can just barely make out a coin spinning there, and if you jump there, there's a DK coin. So this guy, you can see he lands somewhere for just a split second. That's kind of one of those things that might be hard to tell on your first playthrough, but you'll notice it right away if you're paying attention. And then if you don't get to it in time, well, then you just replay the section. I mean, really, I personally don't have a problem with things that like are hard on your first time but easy on a replay through, because like replaying the level, it's not like it's a long level. Like it takes like maybe like 2 minutes to get there, not even, honestly. And we're already close to the end of the level anyways, so you know, no big deal. But like if you know it's there, then yeah, you can just drop down. We actually skip a fair bit of the above level up there, but you know, that's no big deal. It's kind of just a little bit of a tricky jump underneath like a bee and a thing. And right here at the end, really tricky jump gets you an extra life. If you have an extra Kong, like there's literally no reason not to do it, because I mean, who cares about the extra life? Because when you know what, you need to team throw to get into this barrel here. There's a hidden DK barrel right there, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, let's get our coin, because those are the things I care about the most, because I want to buy everything. I actually forgot, like for some reason I thought there wasn't that many coins in this game. I don't know where I got that idea from. There's a lot of coins in this game. We got everything, just making sure. Alright, Bramble Scramble. This is our second Bramble level, and this one's a bit more interesting. It's not just barrels and like you kind of occasionally just, you know, have to shoot and not hit the barrels, but this one you actually have to platform around in the brambles. You follow these bananas here behind the start of the level, because it's one of those rare, you start on the left, facing the left side of the screen levels, which is interesting. And then you do a tight jump over here, throw a barrel at this guy. You climb under these zingers, be careful about them. Remember that your hitbox is very low when you're climbing. It's like, once again, like it's accurate to your characters, so when you're like climbing, like as long as the bees are above the rope. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble saying this. As long as they're above the rope, it's fine. Anyways, with this exclamation point barrel, you want to just climb around these brambles. You see the arrows there, but you can also see, just barely see more over here, so you want to shoot to the side to get an extra banana coin. And what do you know, you gotta collect more stars. And what do you know, another bramble level where you're playing as squawks. Pretty common thing. Unlike in the other one, you have to actually get the coins, because you can't like fake a coin. That wouldn't make any sense. Coins are basically just their own little... I think actually the way it works is that bananas and stars are actually exactly the same thing. It's purely just a case of whether like certain stuff related to like memory and stuff. Like if you can do a mini game in like the normal game in a normal level and just have bananas, it would work just fine. Anyways, obviously now we get to play as squawks. That's fun. And we get to fly around in brambles. So this is something I see easy mistake to make. I see this happen a lot when people are playing. They see like this tight corridor and they think, wow, this is really tough because you don't have a lot of free space to move around in, and it's like you have to constantly be flying, especially when you get down like here. There's like some stuff down here and it's like really tight. Brambles even drop down a little bit and you don't want to touch them. But in case you've never figured this out on your own, the bottom, when you're carrying Kongs as squawks, specifically when it's a crate squawks, you can just touch the ground. Like, sometimes you can kind of clip into it if you're going too fast, but like otherwise it's like you can just idle on the ground. There's no rush. And I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not, actually. I have no idea. I honestly do think it's on purpose because, like, to me, it's like the idea is that if Squawks is carrying them, like, obviously if you just touch a sharp object, it's not like, you know, you touch a knife, you instantly die or anything. It's more like because Squawks is carrying them, they're only lightly touching the ground. Like, you can see they're just barely touching it. Like, I think, like, well, that makes sense. There's barely any pressure, so they should be okay, right? I don't know, maybe I'm just grasping at straws, but that's just what I've always thought. And it's like, I see, every time I ever see someone play the game, like, they never try that out. Because I guess Because if you're just thinking about it in terms of pure video game crap, it doesn't really make any sense. Like, you just think, well, spikes always hurt you in video games, right? But no, like this part here where you're just collecting the L, easy peasy. You just idle along the ground. It's not hard at all, if you know you can do that. Anyways, yeah, these that's what they're called, crooks. I don't know why I could not think of that name in the last part, but they're called crook. That's what they are. I guess because... I guess because it rhymes with hook, actually. That's what it is. Bananas. So here's an interesting thing. I'm actually gonna intentionally kill myself in a little bit here, but what I want to show up, because there's actually two paths here. So if you come over here, you can see a banana just in the edge of this platform, and you might think, well, how do I get to this banana? But if you think smartly, every time there's just a single banana, you can just go through the wall. That one's especially kind of scary because normally brambles will hurt you, but here you can just go through the wall because there's a single banana, and like, it's another one of those things that, like, it's maybe not super obvious at first, but if you've played through this part of the level, then you know as you run through here that there's no other way to get to that section. So I actually stopped talking there because if you can't listen, then this guy's shooting cannonballs at you and you can't see. So the only other way to get to this section, and like you drop down here, it's like, oh, maybe that's how you get to it? No, shoot you back up. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and kill myself. I'm gonna do it in the fastest way possible. Oh, I didn't actually do it very well. But yeah, in case you didn't know, once again, top of vines doesn't hurt you. You can kind of clip into them though if you like go into the edge of the rope like that though, which is kind of funny. And it hurts you. You can also see that's the last bonus for this area, so that's a good tip. There's nothing else to look for except for a DK coin. And hey, what do you know? It's another box, or I guess, what would you call it? A transformation barrel, that's what it's called. So, that's one of those rare instances where it's a transformation barrel that isn't like a whole level transformation barrel. It's just, you just play through this small section. That's because, I think I've showed this off in other parts, but brambles hurt you. And it just so it happens, landing on brambles with animal buddies hurts them too. And you can't ever actually see this in-game because there's never an instance where this happens, but if a boxed animal lands on spikes, they will die. Like, they're just gone. It's the only way they can die normally. Oh crap. So there's a banana coin there, but Squitter's hitbox is, once again, it matches his sprite very well, so it's actually very tiny. So it can be hard to get that coin without accidentally clipping into the top of the platform. So you get the DK going there by going through the wall there. Once again, there's a banana there that indicates you can do it. There's another banana there, though, and what do bananas indicate but a very rare 3-light balloon. It's one of the very few ones in the game. It's pretty cool that you can get one just by casually hanging out here. Anyways, I'm gonna climb back up. Get our thing here, get another extra life for going through a Squitter, which is nice. And yeah, you skip that entire section by doing that. And you jump over here, you get another box squawks. That's kind of a theme of bramble levels. They tend to use a lot of animal buddies because obviously Kongs can't really naturally traverse box levels. But yeah, you just want to slowly float through here. Ugh, I'm hiccuping for some reason. And yeah. If you have a good shot, you can actually hit that beat from the other side to make it a little easier, but honestly, like, they move slow enough, it's not a big deal. And once again, I always give this tip. Same thing with underwater levels. Squawks has very fine control over his movement. He actually has less control. I think I've mentioned this before, too, that he has less... Like, he's a little bit more sluggish while he's carrying the Kongs. He doesn't have quite as good acceleration and control, which makes sense because the Kongs are probably pretty heavy for a parrot to carry. Anyways, yeah, there's these mini neckies that appear here. I got hit by them because I suck. You can actually just go underneath them with no issue, but I wanted to be fancy, and I got hurt for it, unfortunately. Anyways, yeah, we're right at the end of the level here. It's gonna be some cloaks here. They take their time throwing those, so just spit! Oh! Holy, can you imagine if that guy had killed me? That would have been the greatest death in the history of my, like, time ever playing this game. Holy crap. I wouldn't have even been mad. He was dedicated to throwing that crate. Good thing I was fucking spamming that button. Oh, I'm lightheaded from that. That scared the shit out of me. Alright, we paid for the plane, so it's free now. Anyways, this level's called Rickety Race, so obviously that means we're gonna be racing. It's funny that there's bananas here. There's a banana there, but you can't actually see it normally. You can see that one though. And yeah, you run over here. You get to play an actual game right at the start of the level. Once again, there's actually a pretty big theme in this game. They want you to look around your surroundings. Anyways, this minigame's pretty funny. It's called Destroy the Batteries, but like honestly, like you have to be trying really hard not to defeat enough. Like pretty much, unless you pick the wrong path every single time, you're gonna have enough to defeat and get the coin. Anyways, so this is the race, and it's like, well, you want to race. But, funny enough, if you hold left at the very start, because, once again, or I guess not once again, like, I should iterate that during this race, during this minecart race, you can actually hold left and right to control your speed. But if you hold left at the very start, you get this barrel here, and it makes you go super fast. It also gives you a lot more control over your acceleration. Like, you accelerate much faster once you hit this barrel. And if you can't tell, the goal of this race is to basically just... You can jump over enemies, but usually you can't. It's pretty hard to do that normally. But basically, you want to get first place. So you just run through. This level's the longest level in the entire game, but because you're going so fast, it usually doesn't matter. You get little prizes for defeating each dude, and if you couldn't tell, that's your indication that getting first place will actually get you something. Anyways, yeah, you want to be careful too. You don't want to accidentally jump on one of these dudes when you're going over a cliff. Anyways, when you get second place, you get a banana coin. So what might be better than getting a banana coin in this game? Get the letter G. Oh, I missed the end. So one of the guys you defeat gets you the end, but I actually screwed up and jumped over him by accident. So that sucks. But basically, I'm pretty sure the number 3 guy gives you the end. And then, yeah, you defeat the number 1 person, you get a nice thing. I think there's another hidden DK barrel here. For some reason, both the race levels end with you getting a DK barrel. Because you need to fly over here with Dixie to get a coin. Or to get the prize. Otherwise, you just have to end the level. Anyways, I haven't actually mentioned this. We've already beaten both the race levels. But, like, I'm just gonna go here for a second, just show off. Like, these race levels look really cool. Like, the fireworks going off in the background, the carnival background. Like, the fireworks go off behind the background, too. Like, you can see they just kind of pop up. Because there's multiple layers here. It's really cool looking. Anyways, yeah. So we go down here. Funny enough, this is a really cool little thing that Cranky and Swanky are both at like different like stands. KI here. I actually, funny enough, on this playthrough, I finally figured out what this means. Because Cranky mentions Killer Instinct when he's like, sometimes when you like I think when you leave, he'll say he's playing Killer Instinct. And so, what does KI mean but Killer Instinct? Because that's probably just, you can kind of see it's arcade games in there. So there's probably just an arcade machine of Killer Instinct in there. Anyways, let's get our Cranky tips. I skipped that, but whatever. Hornet hole! An 8-legged friend would go halfway to helping you here. It means Squidder's at the halfway point. Ramby Rumble. We haven't seen this level yet, but don't be in a hurry to enter Ramby's room. Think things over. Bramble Scramble. The fruit is always fresher on the other side of the thorns. Jump to it. Basically saying that right at the start of the level, you can jump over. And also that you can jump through the banana. It's funny how it's like a double hint. Target Terror. It's his track, so watch the Kremlin car carefully. He might be down, but he's on his way out. In other words, when the guy drops down, there's a thing. A charge down the last straight with Ramby will ensure a crushing victory. This one's a very obscure bonus, actually. This is actually a really helpful hint. Because this is one of the... This bonus that it's mentioning, if you don't know it's there, it can actually be really hard to find. Because there are some indications, but it's not like... It doesn't put a banana there or anything. It actually requires you to... like pay attention to your environment, and can potentially require an extra playthrough if you don't realize. Anyways, last hint once again for Hornet hole. Start with a hook, stick and jumps, and your bonus bound. Basically, it's saying at the start of the level there's the hook. You go up the hook and you get 2 bonus games there. Swanky's bonus bonanza. Let's play some bonus games. No help from the audience, please. Wrinkly's winner. What is the name of this area of the island? Crazy Kremland. What color is your parrot buddy? He is red, green, yellow? Yeah, he's not black, he's not purple, and he's definitely not white. What is the name of the two companies that produced this game in Donkey Kong Country? Rare and Nintendo. Soft and K.Rool Inc. Rave and Crocodile Games. I actually forgot to mention this all the way back in the first game, but one of the things asks you what the name of the big bad of this game is, and one of them is Captain K. Rap. And if you say that fast, like with K.Rool Cruel, crap, which is such a funny little thing that they got past the radar. I think that's so funny. Crazy quiz. What is the name of the first wasp hive area of this area? Hornet Hole. You clever little monkey. I'm just going over this so fast. What's the name of the Lady Kong? If you didn't know, the name of this thing is Wrinkly's thing, so Wrinkly. Funny enough, that's actually a pretty appropriate question. Which of these items cannot be found at Clubba's kiosk? There's a boxing gloves and punch bag, a picture of K.Rool, and an oil jump. I believe the answer is you cannot find a picture of K.Rool there because he actually doesn't like K.Rool. That's why he lets you pay to get into the bonus world, but we haven't seen that yet. Baboon Booty. What is your snake buddy's name? Ratley. What color waistcoat does Old Man Cranky wear in Crocodile in his little museum? Green. You clever little monkey, now listen carefully. Which of these enemies have you not seen yet during this area of the island? So, just so you know, there's actually we haven't seen Cat O' and we can see them in the next level. But technically, from this point, we haven't actually seen them yet. I don't think we've seen cutlasses in this area of the game, but we have seen them before. This is kind of a trick question. I guess it makes sense to say that from this point you haven't seen Cat O' but you do see them in this world. So if you play past this level and then do the quiz, that can be kind of a trick question. That's interesting. But whatever. Mudhole Mars, that's your third swamp level and the last one of the game. This level involves a lot of like flying enemies. There's lots of stuff flying in the sky here. And what do we see? Oh, but our Cat O' And when you jump on a Cat O' while they're spinning, they actually spin you up. They're actually a really cool enemy. Like, I never bring this up when I was playing, like, I played that ROM hack back in the day. Like, they are actually just a really cool enemy, honestly. And yeah, you break this 3 times, you get a banana bunch. There's a bunch of bananas in the sky here too. Doesn't really matter, but if you want to collect them with your buddy, you can. Screw that Cat O' he doesn't get you anything. There's actually a lot of things in this level you can get by swinging off of those Cat O' and it's pretty cool. It makes sense because this is something that Nintendo games sometimes are kind of bad about. That they introduce these gimmicks, but like barely use them. I don't like that. Like I like things that are really rare, but I don't like it when they just like completely skip over stuff. I think that's like kind of like a waste. Like, why spend all that time programming in this cool gimmick and then just like, you know, like not even using it? Oh, so it's hard to tell, but the way you basically control is that you can't. It's weird how it works. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I've never taken the time to really experiment too much, but the way Cat O' work is that if you couldn't tell, the way they throw you is based on which direction you're holding, and I believe it also depends on how long you're holding it for. Anyways, they give you a DK barrel here because you need, I believe, yeah, you absolutely need to be in team up mode. But the funny thing is, you don't actually need to throw from the very edge of the platform. You can just jump into it and you collect the coins. Anyways. Boom, we got our 45th Creme coin. Only 30 more to go. We're actually pretty far into the game now. Which is pretty fun. Anyways, I'm going to get this DK barrel here because, sure, I could, you know, use this kind of Ninetales. But honestly, it's easier to use Team Throw. Because if you're inaccurate here, those zingers will mess you up. And now we start to see cannons. Cannons are actually integral to completing this level. So you want to keep that in mind. A lone little brown crocodile head. I believe there's another one in this level. So you get a crate here, but it's a better idea to kill that bee, because now you can jump off this dude really easily. Get this coin. Oh! Ah, that sucks. That's fine though. So we got a cannon here. You can hear him shooting. So you want to jump over these things. Get our buddy back. Good timing actually. Be careful when you jump off this dude. If you jump off from too far to the right, your cannonball will fall into the water. So just be very careful about that. You drag it in here to get another bonus game that involves destroying them all. You want to be careful. Once again, don't be careful. Don't lose this cannonball. You get 2 of them, but like it can be tricky if you like miss one. Because like you can see right there, if you manage to throw it with pinpoint accuracy and throw it underneath the zinger, you're kind of out of luck. Like there's not really much you can do. Because you can't really... I think you can actually just barely get it, but it's very tricky. And, like, try not to do that. It's a better idea to just throw it better. Another crocodile head. So, you can hear the guy shooting and you see the bananas. So, just wait along and you see these nice slow barrels getting shot. Pretty much the timing is just... Oh. Get lone crocodile, green crocodile head here. So be careful about this guy. I'm gonna throw that so I can just easily get this G here. We've got the G. So I'm gonna, once again, I don't want to use the Cat of Nine Tails. Like they're cool enemies, but they're hard to use, honestly. Like if you don't have to, if you have both Kongs and you don't have to use them, I just recommend don't using them because it's just safer not to use them. So here we've got just a huge gap. There's just no way to get across normally, but luckily we've got a cannon who helps us along. You know, he's doing good work. So we got a cannon here that's shooting to the right. So you may have noticed that we haven't actually gotten the DK coin yet. So be careful with this cannon right here. You want to make sure to jump over him because wouldn't you know it, the DK coin's actually on the end of level target. This is probably very, I bet you a lot of people remember this. This is a particularly devious thing, and I have to, like, this is actually what I love so much about Rare. Like, even back in, like, Donkey Kong Country 1, when, like, that bonus room inside a bonus room, like, and, like, even in this game, we've already seen a DK coin inside a DK coin. Like, the bonus room inside a bonus room, not the best, like, not very well telegraphed because there's nowhere to really know. Like, you can tell that it's there because the room's there, but I digress. I shouldn't be talking about that. I love the way that Rare will subvert your expectations. They don't just hide everything normally in a level. They will, like, they'll do crazy shit like this where it's like you have to, like, you have to accurately get the end of level target. They'll hide it in bonus rooms. They'll hide it bonus rooms and other bonus rooms. Like, it's so cool that they do this shit. I love it. It's just so cool they do this. Anyways, luckily this one's not too hard to get, but there's actually, well, we'll get to that one when we get to that one, but yeah, as you can see, not too bad, honestly. Like, just wait around for, like, the thing is slightly, the end of level target rotates through its prizes slightly faster in the barrels, so if you just wait long enough, eventually it'll line up and make it pretty easy, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, this level's called Ramby Rumble, and here we go. We can see our first cutlass, and I think this is the first cutlass of the whole world, which is why I was confused, because he said specifically this area, but I think when he says this area, he just means like just this part of the game. So kind of a funny thing, you can see there's honey on here, and you can see there's a little bit you can like walk on. If you walk up to this, you actually grab on. So I'm actually curious about this. I forget if there, yeah, there's a banana coin here. I'm gonna try to get this there. That one can be a little tricky to get because you might not realize that you drop a lot faster than you expect to. And honey requires you to actually like touch it for like, it's not like instant, you have to actually touch it for like a second. Anything down here? Yeah, there's some hooks down here to get to the letter K. Ooh, jeez, I almost fell down. That would have been bad. I don't think you die necessarily if you fall down, but something to keep in mind. Some bananas here. Some dudes. This part right here, as a kid, this part always gave me so much trouble. I don't know why. Because you have to, basically, this is one of the few times you have to actually drop down. So you basically just want to slowly drop down and like get your timing. It's not, honestly not that bad, but it's like it can throw you for a loop if you're not careful. Because like you have to do it a couple times and there's like bees coming across. I actually recommend going to this side right here because you might not realize it, but yeah, you can see it kind of ends and there's a claptrap there. Ooh! There's actually a Clampon. His name is Clampon. There are actually hooks at the bottom here, so it's not too bad. Like, I don't know how I had so much trouble with this as a kid, but, you know, don't ask me. Let me pause here for a second. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and keep talking. Actually, I'm not gonna keep talking because I have to focus on this. Sorry about this, just give me a second, I'll skip past this. Alright, I'm back. Let's go. Once again, you have to climb right back up now. This one's, now that you're trying double zingers at it, the difficulty is progressing. And then you have a moment you have to shoot up with a barrel. Once again, this one's actually like another one of those moments when you can just shoot up like instantly and you don't have to worry about it, but I wanted to take the time to talk about it for some reason. Jump up to this banner, invisible hook appears. Funny enough, that invisible hook actually kind of tells you about an interesting thing you might have to find later. Anyways, this singer kind of goes around in a circle. You get that back one easy, and we can go ahead and grab this bonus room here. I forget, what's this bonus room? This is the bonus room where you just want to climb up the honey. One of those rare bonus rooms. There's actually, like, I guess there's 6 bananas. It's not really much of a prize, but they're there. You can collect them. They just kind of tell you what to do, though, mostly. This part right here, as a kid, this dude always gave me trouble because you have to like jump up here and then he like runs towards you, and if you aren't like, if you're an idiot like I was as a kid, you might not realize that it's actually really easy to just wait for him to run over to the end. So, is there anything on this thing? Let me just check. It's interesting that there's honey here, but you don't actually need it. It's just there as like an extra bit of give, just in case. So remember when he mentioned don't rush into the thing? Well, if you jump right above where the hole is, boom. Some nice hooks there, and wouldn't you know it, DK coin right above this room. You can't actually go any further because you need to go in here. But this room carries our buddy. The level is named after him, but you don't actually get to play as him till like the second half of the level. But that's actually pretty common with the early stuff. Like I think that happens with Squawk's, like Squawk's Shaft is the same thing. You don't get to play Squawks to the midpoint too. So you basically get to play as him. So be careful about this guy. I see people get hit by him sometimes. Even though he shoots a barrel, Rambi can't run into barrels that are shot. Like it's still projectiles, so it will hurt him. You have to like jump. It's like the cannonballs, you can't jump on them at all, but the barrels, you can't run into them either. You have to jump into them. Like Rambi's weirdly like picky. I'll put this right now. Rambi's weirdly picky about what he can and can't attack. Some things will hurt you if you jump into them, and some things will hurt you if you don't jump into them. It's usually like pretty obscure stuff that doesn't really matter, but it is something to bring in mind. So this is our first red zinger of the whole game. No, it's not the first one. We saw one in Bramble Scramble. But just to point out, this red zinger is the first one of this level, and he does indicate one thing, that when you jump down here, Giant Bee pops up, and now you gotta really start running. This is actually a really cool little sequence, because that giant zinger is actually the boss of this world. But you get to like an early bird little chase with him. So remember when he said, you know, to break this wall, basically. So that wall, I see a lot of people have trouble finding that wall. What is it? What's the deal? Can you jump these guys? Oh, okay, I know what it is. Okay, so let me go into detail about this wall. So Cranky basically tells you at the end of the level, charge the one wall you can, and that's basically your hint for finding this. It's actually pretty obvious if you listen to the Cranky hit, but if you don't use that Cranky hit, it can be pretty hard to find this. So basically you have there's basically two indications that this wall contains a bonus room in it. First of all, I didn't get to see it because I was really fast, but if you hang out, this is where King Zing actually stops. He'll stop right in front of that wall and block it, so you can't normally break it. That's your first indication that something's up. The second indication is that, well, that's the only wall in the whole level that Rambi can jump over. Like every other wall is on the edges of platforms or kind of cemented by like weird slopes and stuff. That's like the only wall here that's just straight up like just a normal wall, and you just run up to it and jump over it or blast over it. That second hint's not the kind of a vague hint, but it's a hint nonetheless. Anyways, we got our G here. There's actually no bananas in this one, so let's just get the G. And I got all the letters, thank God. But yeah, that's one of those. I like that. I like that secret. Partially, pretty much, I like it just because, honestly, just because Cranky tells you about it. Because basically, it's one of those secrets that, if you cannot find it on your own, then Cranky will give you a pretty nice hint to find it. But you can. It's one of those rare, vague secrets that you can try to find on your own that isn't completely unmarked. Anyways, this level, I'm going to say right now, this is a cool level because you get to play as Squawks, and we've already seen it before. I did the boss rush, so, like, I have footage of me playing through this level. But this is, like, the fastest banana life farm, or banana coin farm in the entire game. Like, you start the level, you jump, and you get 2 banana coins. And then you start selecting, you get 2 more. Like, it's really cool that it's just, like, super fast. Anyways, be careful about this. You want to avoid... Wow, that was terrible. I backed myself into a corner really badly there. That's just bad. Anyways, you want to go down here. I'm usually really good at this minigame. This boss. I don't know why he wrecked me so bad there. I just backed myself into a wall like an idiot. Ooh, I'm being really sloppy right now. I don't know why. I apologize for that, but there we go. That's more like it. Gets small, turns invincible. Even though he's yellow there for a second, you can't actually hurt him. You have to wait for him to spawn his little bee buddies, and then you can kind of hurt. I've never showed this, but if you do wait long... Actually, maybe I have showed this, but if you wait long enough right now, he will actually spawn more and become invincible again, but it's very easy to just kill him before that happens. Funny thing is, you can, like, yeah, you can, like, still, like, hit him while he's, like, freaking out, but he can't hurt you anymore. Is this the first time I've showed this? If you face left during the end of boss, you actually do your boombox animation backwards. And normally that doesn't happen because it's only ever on the end of level target. But I think it's just, you know, cool that you can, like, flip your sprite around. Anyways, that's about it for this part. I'm going to save here, and I think we've done absolutely everything. I haven't missed anything. I've been to see my husband Cranky. He complains a little, but he does know everything about this island. Anyways, that's about it for this part. See you guys later. Still bad at outros, but you know. Like I said, I'm the greatest.